afternoon, folks. Hope all is well. This was on my mind today. Hey, you know what burns my britches more than anything? One of the top things that really scorches my Nikes is an old mother effer with no fucking manners or class. I'm telling you, it really gets to me. When I say old, 40 plus, 45 plus, with no manners, no class. What the fuck you been doing with your life? What you been doing? Clearly you ain't been nowhere, you ain't went nowhere. All right? That's the first thing that lets me know right off the back. You ain't did shit. You ain't been nowhere. All right? You ain't moved around. You haven't gotten to meet new people, new types of people, different culture, just somebody out of your neighborhood. Yeah, you probably haven't moved too much, been out your neighborhood too tough, except to maybe a family reunion or some shit like that. All right? That's the number one thing it tells me. All right? Next, it just tells me you haven't tried to grow. You haven't tried to grow. Fix the fuck wrong with the neck on my shit. Anyway, you haven't tried to grow. Right? Life is all about constant growing, elevation. Right? Getting better each day. Right? So, like I said, one of my favorite quotes is from one of my favorite people that ever walked the planet, Muhammad Ali. Says, if you still doing the same thing at 50 that you did at 30, you just wasted 20 years of your life. What are we talking about? Right? What's the purpose of you being here if you ain't gonna grow, learn, advance? All this comes into play. Because anytime you 50 plus years old and you don't even know how to hold a fucking door for somebody, all right? Or you still walking around giving people ice grill looks like you're ready to fight and you fucking 50, 60 years old with a fucking frown on your face like the Grinch who stole Christmas, it's a problem. Your life didn't work out for you too tough. You know? And who you gonna blame? Nobody but yourself. It all ties in. Right? How the hell I'm at I don't care where I'm at. Grocery store, mall, and I'm looking at jokers. You walk by, they don't know how to say, excuse me, pardon me, my bad, bro. None of that. And we ain't talk about young people. When you're young, you gotta, you let it slide because, they still in the, I want to prove my manhood stage. I still want to be tough. Or whatever. Whatever. But as you get older, you're supposed to grow out of that. You learn that ain't the way to move, especially if you want to stay here a while. All right? Ain't too much place in the world for the tough guy. Right? Or the ignorant guy. It ain't but a couple places for you. I promise you. You could think that, but hey, if it ain't got you yet, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Nobody leaves unscathed when it comes to that. You're gonna get your day, your reality check. That I'm old and I'm too foolish for the book. I'm too old. You're gonna get your reality check that I'm too old to be acting this foolish. That's the check you're gonna get. And the best lesson is the one that's learned the hard way. Always. It's been like that throughout my life, and that's just the way it is. Best lessons is the ones learned hard when it comes to foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Should be, 45, 50 years old, still with the same mentality as a 20-plus-year-old. All right, with the ignorant shit. Still trying to be fucking, walk around with like Mr. Tough Guy and with no manners and, you know what I mean? Just mad at the world and all type of foolishness. Because my thing is, if you like that, what the fuck, who gonna teach the babies? I always say that. Who gonna teach the youngins? What they got to look forward to? What OG they got to look up to? Can't look up to you. You ignorant as fuck. What the fuck you gonna teach him or her? Same with the ladies. Old as shit, still cussing and talking to your grandkids all crazy and, you know what I mean? I see it all the time when I'm out. You know, they feel like you're too close. They're looking at y'all, ice grilling you up and down. Lord, for God forbid, just say, you look at, like, when you see somebody sometime when you're in passing, I do that. Hey, how are you? Just, but no funny shit. Just, hey, hi, how are you? God forbid, just speak to them. Oh, some of these ladies is crazy. They look at you like you just cussed them. What the fuck is going on with our people, man? What's going on? It's a life, done kicked everybody in the ass. That ain't no excuse. Life always gonna be lifing. I don't care. It's gonna get you one way or another. But it's the people that come out of that better. It's the resilient ones that learn and grow from that and keep elevating. That's the ones that's going to sustain and be successful in this life. Not the ones, if you want to stay stuck on bullshit, you're going to be stuck right in your bullshit for the rest of your life. You understand me? You stay stuck on that bullshit that you was in 1992, you're going to still look the same way you did in 1992. Probably worse, actually, but your aura going to be the same, still the same. You haven't grown. You could tell you're bumping into somebody who hasn't grown. They talk the same, dress the same, still bullshitting you the same way, still talking the same slick, dumb shit. You see no elevation. There's a difference when you run into somebody who you could tell, when you run into them when they 40 plus, 50 plus. You could tell those that, who have grown and, actually a real man or real woman. You know what I mean? A real adult. It's a big difference. You could tell the difference. You know what I mean? When you run into them. And quite frankly, coming from where I come from, I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see, you know what I mean? People I grew up with as kids, from childhood to adulthood or whatever. People I haven't seen in a while. You bump into them and you see they doing good. You know what I mean? You see, they're a full-grown adult and they function in society. Doing, you know what I mean? Being positive or whatever the case may be. That's a beautiful thing to me because a lot of, listen, I ain't got to tell that sob story no more. You already know. Coming from where we come from, but in these inner cities, but hey man, you got to get off that bullshit because bottom line is, if we don't grow, what the fuck we teaching the baby? And that's part of the problem. Why these kids is running wild like this. What they call them, generation, I think we down to, you got, let me see, Gen X, Gen Z, what they call it? What's the other one below that? The ones that was born in like, I would say the 90s on. Okay. That's why we have those issues, man. They ain't got nobody to connect with. I seen something with the 14-year-old the other day shot the cop. He got the gun longer than him. What the fuck? Where's daddy at? Where's uncles at? Let me guess, they on the ignorant bullshit too. No, not even around. All this shit comes into play. That's why I despise it. I fucking hate it. You old nigga, grow up. Grow the fuck up. Because we're the ones now in this generation of, I would say, what is it? I think it's the Generation X, I think we are. We the ones that got to teach the babies. Who else gonna teach them? You want the street to teach them? You want the TV to teach them? You want the internet to teach them? Let me know how that work out for you. Let me know how that work out for you. All right? So bottom line, man, we gotta, listen, the elder statesmen, I'm gonna call it, OGs, you know what I mean, the women as well, OGettes, I don't know what you call them, 40, 45 and up, you start getting like that, man, you gotta grow the fuck up, man. You gotta have some type of, pick up a book, man, you know, do what you gotta do, elevate your mind, meditate, pray, ask the Most High, whatever you gotta do to get yourself in a good place, to stop walking around here ignorant as fuck. To ask him to help you grow up. That way you can teach your babies, man. That's why back in the day we used to have communities, man. You was doing some goofy shit, you get stopped right in your track, coming from on my block, where I came from, right in your tracks. We wasn't having it. It was at least 6, 7 OGs on the block that checked you in a minute with the bullshit. We don't have that no more. Because the old niggas, old jokers is acting like the young jokers. Just as ignorant. Don't get me wrong, you always had your little ignorant folks here and there, but it was way different back in the day. That's why you had more community. You know what I mean? He had to be your dad to check you. He had to be your uncle to check you. It was like the uncle to you. You know what I mean? I had many OGs like that when I was coming up. You know what I mean? Show you what it was and what it wasn't. We don't got that no more. Shit's gotta stop, man, because as you can see the result of it. Look at these young jokers, man. They running wild. You see it. All you gotta, I get it on my phone. I'm about to unsubscribe. I subscribe to get the local news. All I get is young boy shot this one, or this, you know, this one, his girl left him, so he want to stab every dumb shit, man. And it's all comes from a result of them not being taught the right way, how to move. Because the old jokers out here, they don't want to grow up. Or they bitter, so they don't want to teach nobody. Come on, man. What you think you're here for? You're here to grow, elevate, pass it on. That's the cycle of life. Grow, elevate, pass it on. Right? Same way, no different than when a flower grows and the seed does a seed sprout that drops into the ground, whatever, then another one grows. You know what I mean? That's just a cycle of life. So get it together, man, because, you know, you stay the same, nothing stays the same. It's always changed, but it should be changed for the better. Because anything that stays the same is dying. I mean, we all die in a sense. We gotta leave here physically, but I mean, mentally you're dying. Spiritually, you're dead. What are you doing? You might well not even be here, nigga. You done died. You get it together. Tighten up. I shouldn't see no old 45, 50-year-old man, all right, walk around. You hold a door for him, and they don't say shit. Or you look them in the face, how you doing? And they scrounge and walk right by you. There's no way that should happen. That tells me you're mental. You haven't grown up. You're not a man yet. I don't care. In my book, you're ignorant. That's what that tells me. You still ignorant as you was when you was younger. For whatever life circumstance. Like I said, life done kicked all us in the ass. Nobody's exempt. So I'm not trying to hear that shit. Grow the fuck up so you can teach these babies, man. That's it. I'm out. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Skills, what up? Peace.